Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday evening to you. Hope you are having a great weekend. And it says we are live. We must be live. There we go. All right. I think we're all set up here. So, welcome. Before we get started into readings, let us come back to this moment, and we'll do that by taking a big, deep breath in, holding it for a moment, release it when you feel comfortable. And just think of something that you're grateful for in this moment, right here, right now. And just thank the Creator for it. That immediately starts to raise our love vibration and it prepares us for messages from Spirit as well. So we'll start there and then we'll bring in the singing bowl. So big, deep breath in and gratitude. Beautiful. And I will hit the singing bowl 3 times, and each time that we hit that, just imagine just a vibration going out from your heart, spreading through your physical body to all your cells, your muscles, your bloodstream, your into your brain, and then also our moving into our mind and our thoughts and into our emotions, our chakra system, our auric field, our energy, just filling up our lives with that beautiful essence of unconditional love energy from up above. And then it fills us up and flows out to the world, going out there to do whatever it wants to do out there in the world to help raise the vibration of the love for the collective and for the planet. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. She's singing up a storm. All right. So hello everybody. Yeah, I am feeling much better. Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a great holiday. It was great. I even though I was sick, it's interesting, when you look at life and things happen for a reason, and like at Christmas I had such a horrible headache. My head was like throbbing and I was laying in bed. I was just like, am I gonna die or what's happening? And but I in that moment it was like I can continue to focus on like the pain and just have it get bigger and bigger and bigger, or I can, as we always Spirit talks about, we can choose our energy. I can choose to have a higher vibration. And so I went to this place that Spirit takes me where I'm kind of standing in the middle as my human, but surrounded by all these spiritual beings of unconditional love of light. And it goes, there's thousands, if not millions, as it disappears. But that's how supported we are by the other side, all these beings of unconditional love and light. And I would just keep repeating, I am unconditionally loved. And I'm consciously raising my love vibration. I am unconditionally loved. Just feel their love energy flowing. And my headache just kind of became less and less and less. And I'll talk about some other stuff tomorrow as well that happened with it all. And but I wouldn't have had those things and wouldn't have went to this different space if I was feeling fine, right? So sometimes we have that. So I like that. Yeah, hey, Rhoda, absolutely. Good stuff for the new year, right? So hope everyone is doing well. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? So, well, first of all, it's the beginning of the month. At least it's the first Saturday of the month. So we have 5 Zen Cricket memberships to give away this evening. So I'll post this little video. This talks about if you don't have your little um it's like the little button set to yes, that yes, I will receive gifted memberships. You have to have that set to on in order for them to consider you. Spirit and YouTube determine all what will happen. I'll push a little button here in a moment and they'll determine which 5 to give it away to. So we'll do that here in a moment. So you have time to do that. I'm going to blab just for a couple moments here about things that we're doing this year. You'll see I've kind of changed things around a little bit. I've adjusted my desk. I have my altar back here, which has all the elements, including the ether. This year, 2025, is all about the quest for the 2025, 5 elements, the 4 elements of an altar, the 4 elements of tarot, and then the ethereal, which is represented. You might see a bunch of crystal balls all mixed in there. If you could see that far, see, there's one. You can see it. So that's going to be this year, and a lot of what I do will be around the elements, the 4 different areas of our lives, and giving us tools to help us find our true higher self, our true ethereal selves and energy within those 4 areas of our lives. So that's going to be exciting. And you'll notice that here, if you haven't checked out the 2025 energy forecasts, I talk all about that in here. So there's an intro in there that talks about this 2025 stuff. And then, of course, for each individual zodiac sign, compass reading, where we talk about all those things for each individual zodiac sign. And then also, of course, we have solstice, which is running from December 20th to March 20th. So there's for each astrological element. So we're doing the 4 elements. And then there's a special bonus, like oracle card for each zodiac sign within each element that's listed there too. And I'll do solstice readings and equinox readings. So every 3 months, we'll have those by element. And then each month, we will have a Zen Gate reading, and we have a portal every month. So 1/1, January 1st, 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5. So every month has one. And we'll talk about it. This was the Magician's portal, since number 1 in Major Arcana is a magician. So this talks a lot about that energy, and there's a reading in there too. So be sure to check that out. And then each week we'll also have a Zen Bite, which is a short video that has some just a little bit of information on things that we can do to recognize how to return back to our Zen or stay in our Zen. So Zen bites, but it's bites like, bite computer science language or whatever. But so we have those. And then you also will see at the top of my page, when you go to my main channel page, I have new for 2025, and I'll have all the playlists listed, because we'll also have new moon, full moon, and when the sun moves into its new zodiac signs, we have those. That'll be out there. We got the Zen Gates, the Zen Bites, the quarterly solstice equinox readings. And then I'm excited to introduce the quest videos. We'll have a quest video each month, and those are going to be a little longer, but it's kind of like a podcast, but it's all about focusing on an element. And so we'll cover the 5 elements um, during the first 5 months, and then we'll add on more tools and different things as we go. But I'm excited because the we're going to start off talking about the wind horse, which is the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Air, and we'll have a bunch of tools on how to deal with our mind and our mindsets and different things like that. But the thing I'm really, really excited about is um, every human character gets 4 elemental spirit guides. Each time we come down here as a human, we're granted they kind of are like the I don't know, the cruise directors, the coordinators of each of those 4 different areas of our lives. And we get to learn about them and how to connect with them and discover. I had no idea that every human had those. I knew that when I asked about my spirit guides, I had 4 elementals come and introduce themselves as 4 of my main spirit guides. And I was like, that's cool. And then as we were they're downloading information and helping me prepare for these videos, they were like, everyone gets one. Everyone gets the set of an air element of fire, earth, water, you know. I think I mentioned them all. But yeah, and so it's like, whoa, this is so cool. So I'm excited to introduce the information to help us discover who they are. And then our ethereal spirit guide, of course, is our guardian angel, and we'll find out more about them too. So exciting stuff for 2025. A lot of free videos, a lot of free content I'll be offering. So be sure to check all those out. All right, I think enough blah blah blah. I missed you guys. I'm glad to be back. And so let's give away 5 Zen Cricket memberships, and we'll get into stuff here. So let me click the little button down here. Yes. All right. So here we go. So, Spirit, take it away. Gift. We'll see who gets the 5 Zen Cricket memberships. And as part of the Zen Cricket membership, we, in addition to having a prioritization during these sessions, we also have a Wednesday night session where you guys can come. It's for a couple hours as well. So, let me just grab these names real quick here. And just for my records. There we go. So we've got Madeline Lee, sorry. Just Blessings, Faith in Love, Country Love Homestead. I love that. And Gene XO. So congratulations, you guys. So many blessings to you. All right, let me just move some stuff around here and we'll get started here. So shout out to some of my YouTube channel members. Hey, Anna, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, Aria. My eyes, I even have it blasted a little bigger. But Aria, hello, hello. So shout out to you. Welcome, welcome. And of course, we have Johanna. Hello, hello. Good to see you again from the other side of the planet. So good to see you. Good to see you guys. Hi, you're still awake. Well, it is the weekend, right? Love your question. All right. So if you're new to my channel or need these readings, welcome. First of all, we got a great group of people, huge hearts, great senses of humor, as I always say, and that's so important on our adventure. It makes it so much more easier considering sleep soon. Well, you'll be up first, so we'll get you squared away and then you can go to sleep. um, so, um, so welcome everybody. And we have always room for more beautiful souls. So, uh, come hang out with us. We'd love to have you. How the free readings work, I do go down in order, first come, first serve for free readings. All you do is put your question out in chat. There's no special list. The chat is it. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Free readings, 1 to 2 cards, generally, and, but if anyone makes a donation, I do honor those, as an energy exchange. I prioritize those readings, step out of the free readings, also pull more cards for those too. So if you want more in-depth reading, um, then a donation of any kind will get that for you. You can use the super chat down at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. I don't have set dollar amounts because I know everyone's finances are different. A penny to one person's $1,000,000 to another. Um, so I know cost of living is different across the world, across the country, across the city. So whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. Oh, what else? What else? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, then my YouTube channel members, they do get second priority over the donations. So for their free readings, then they're done next. And I always complete donations and my YouTube channel members, it's part of their membership. Each of these sessions, like this morning, I didn't get to any free readings at all, and I was on for 4 hours. So, but and my Saturday mornings are pretty busy usually that way. But on Friday and Saturday nights, a little lighter, and but Sundays are different where whatever I don't get to in the 2 hours that I'm on, after I go spend an hour or so with my Praying Mantis members and eat, I do come back on and complete all readings. So you will get a message from Spirit for sure if you post your question on Sundays for sure. Other than that, I think that's everything. I don't know. I'm out of habit of doing readings because I was out for a week or well, I guess that was only really from these a week, but it feels like it was 2 weeks because I probably was. I'm going to be using the Magic of Winter or the Tarot of the Yule, or is it Yuletide? Yeah, I'm sorry, it's Yuletide Tarot, and then I also have the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle if I feel so inclined. All right, so I feel like I'm leaving something out. Oh, if you want to become a YouTube channel member, I have 2 levels. My Zen Cricket is $2.99 a month, and my Praying Mantis is $7.99 a month. So in addition to getting prioritization on Fridays and you do on Sundays, but to get that where you get your reading for sure on Friday or Saturday, and then Wednesdays we have all members, both Zen Cricket and Praying Mantis, a couple hours or more for free readings. And then Thursday night's a special 2 hour or so session for just my Praying Mantis. And then Friday night and after the Saturday night and then after my Sunday afternoon, we also have time with my YouTube channel members. So if you're interested, we have that. And then you also get advanced access to all those videos I was talking about in the beginning too. So if you're interested, there's a link down below on how to do all that. Plus, I do personal readings. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's a link down below that talks about the different personal readings I offer in Hedge of Love and Peace and an Astro type of reading that's there too. So, blah, blah, blah. I think we're ready. So, Happy New Year. Hey, Moonlight. Welcome back. Good to see you. All right, so let us jump in. We do have a few donations, so we'll start there. And oh, Johanna, I'm sorry, you are not first. I thought you had donated up there. But you'll be the first after I finish all the donations. And of course, you can always fall asleep and look forward to your reading first thing. When you wake up. Never any pressure, right? All right. So we do have Aries Rising as my first donation. So thank you so much for that. Let's give that a love and a like here. All right. And then Aries Rising, you'd like a deep dive read into CS's actions towards you. All right. And what were his thoughts about your recent travels out of the country? All right. Well, let's take a look here. Spilling the tea. All right. So let's get going here. All right. So I was cold earlier, but as soon as, of course, spirit starts to flow, I start heating up. All right. So let's take a look here. Deep dive. What is the deal with CS's actions towards you? Let's take a look there first. All right, and that one too, and that one too. Okay. And then his thoughts about your recent travels out of the country. All right, so we'll do those there. Alrighty, righty. So, and actually, let's start there. I just kind of want to start with their feelings of when you went out of the country. So let's take a look-see poo here. So we have the center clause. I love these. These, Yule is the solstice, right? So the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. So these are all Christmassy. Well, so and of course I have my Christmas tree, and I'm all about Christmas 24/7 anyway. So, but this is the Hierophant in the Standard Tarot. It is about seeing things from a different perspective, and it's like their higher self showing them some things, showing them some truths. And I felt like when you traveled, it sometimes like the absence makes the heart grow fonder. Um, but it's funny. I'm like, I feel like they resonate more with their brain than their heart. So it was something like the absence makes the brain more clearer. So they had clarity come into their thoughts. Uh, that was going on there. In fact, did you ask what they were thinking, or let me see here? Let me scroll back up. Because was it? Yeah, his thoughts. So that makes sense that it's all about thinking. Yeah, and the death and the rebirth. So, there is this energy of um, the release of some old thinking, some old beliefs, some old, I don't even want to say attachments, but it's just some things that they thought that were so important. But like when you went out of the country, they were like, how important is this? Is this really that much? And I kind of feel like it's the stuff that's holding them back a bit, which is interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the five of gifts. Oh, feelings of abandonment. Oh, I got left behind. So there was a little bit of that. Wah. But so that it felt, it did ring some old emotions of them feeling abandoned when they were younger and left out. And, but that's all right. You know, it's important for them to face that and deal with that because those are, kind of some of those fear of abandonment, fear of being left behind, fear not being good enough, jealousies, kind of things that come up with that. And then the chariot. So there is movement and victory and power of choice that comes in with all of this. And so I like this in that, realizing that whatever they chose is outside of your control anyway. There's so much more going on inside of them that existed before you ever met them that gets triggered by all sorts of stuff knowingly and probably more unknowingly because you're like, what, why did you feel that way? Well, and you don't know a lot of the history that's in there that's bubbling up in between. But I do feel like it got him thinking in a good way, releasing some old things, some possibly some hesitancies, but maybe that's why we wanted to see that first before we got into the second portion here, or your first question, which was their actions towards you, and we'll see what's going on with that here. So, yeah, you know, because they're more in their head than their heart, and missingness has to do more with the heart. I feel like it more triggered them, you know, thinking about stuff and not so much. I don't feel like they miss things, but I feel like it did trigger some concerns of, oh, you know, if I don't start putting some action behind things, then you might just be leaving their life permanently, right? Okay. Yeah, with more of his head, yeah, than his heart, right? So it's more of a, ooh, oh, this is what could happen, his thinking of things. It's not so much the feeling, but the little alarms going off going, ooh, you know, I didn't consider and think about that you could be gone. And now I'm like, okay, I need to start, prioritizing this, right? So that's the kind of energy that's there. Yeah. And not that you did that for that. I mean, you did it for you. You're like, I'm going and I'm gonna go do this. And I'm not gonna wait around for everything, you know. In fact, it's like not that you would have said this, but it's kind of in between the lines, right? Well, if you were with me, you could have gone with me, but you snooze, you lose. Boom. All right. So let's take a look here at his actions towards you. Right. All right. See? Mistletoe, mistletoe. So, all right. That's the lover's card in the standard tarot. Just to clarify here. So, I love that it's like creating the opportunity, it's like hanging mistletoe above your head so there's an opportunity to kiss you, right? You're like, oh, 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 oh." Let's see what else we have here. The 8 of candles. Yeah, energy, movement, action. Yeah, this is definitely, as we're moving along the cards here, it does feel like it is igniting, putting a fire under their butt, a candle under their butt. Let's go, right? So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the page of gifts, the page of pentacles. So this is about, heightened opportunities. And in a way here, I do feel this energy of, because it's about looking at your like his worth or their worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And it's like I feel like it's going to open up the opportunity for them to take action. But with the energy that I feel is like during your absence, it made him really think about what's holding me back. Why don't I feel I can do this? Why won't I do this? What am I afraid of? And I feel like it was almost like a little yeah, bonfire, right? A little bit of, I wanna say like a self-worth boost, but I feel like there was a confidence change of they really faced it and looked at it and going, "What am I waiting for? Why don't I think I'm ready? Why don't I think I'm worthy? Why do I think will happen?" Yeah, so I feel like they were doing a lot of that. Yeah, we got the magus, which is the magician. Fire under the butt, so there is that. This is the action, the movement, the let's go, let's go, let's go. I have the power. So I like this. I like this energy. And then these two cards came out. What is this all about? Yeah. Literally the king of candles, the king of wands, the lord of fire, the action. I can do this. And the four of cups. Yeah, dissatisfaction with where their emotions are at now, boredom, stagnancy, right? And so I like this that it's going to be let's go, let's go, let's go. The chariot is all about movement as well, which we got with that. So I definitely feel like it allowed them to see things from a different perspective, and I really feel like it's going to be soon that they're going to do a little bit of a stepping up to the plate here um, sooner than later, for sure. I'm reaching out in energy, seeing if they'll tell me anything with timing. Time is weird from spirit's point of view. They're always like, "You're eternal. Why are you so concerned about time?" Like our humans are on a time stage, so that's why we are. They're like, "Okay, by the end of January, okay?" So they're funny when it comes to that way. So it's too funny. Sorry. I think I'm about to knock something off my. Okay. I have a shelf under here and my foot keeps on hitting it. All right. Yeah. So it does feel like by the end of January, well, I mean, here we're almost a week into January already. Before we know it, the month of 2025 will be gone. I call it a month because it seems like 2024 felt like a month, not 12 months. It was like, where did it go? So I like that. But I definitely, it feels like they're saying, yeah, okay, by the end of January, you're going to see action and movement. We're like, fine, okay. I like that. I got these new happiness cards today. Words of inner joy. So we're going to have these be fortune cookies for today. Let's give you one of these. So tell us what else. Anything about timing or anything else? Let's see what the happiness card is. I like it. Write it down. Process difficult feelings by getting them out of your head. I like that. Let's get these, my concerns just out of my head and onto paper, and then I'm releasing these things, right? And that's the whole thing when we're wondering about timing, and it's because there's some sort of rule we have around that things are excuse me, hiccup, supposed to happen by a certain time, a certain moment, and this is, we're attached to an outcome instead of the adventure. And it's in through the adventure that we learn a lot about ourselves and each other, right? So as it kind of comes in. Right. But that's what they have for you right now. So hopefully that brings a little more clarity in. I like that. So thank you again for your donation. I so appreciate it. And hey, Faith and Love, you are very welcome. You are a chosen one by Spirit. So many blessings. 2024 definitely flew by. Right. You're very welcome, Aries. Many blessings. Okay. And then, Rhoda, you are up next. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. And is your current job the right job for you? All right, let's take a look here. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know here. How funny. So your spirit guides are telling you that every job you have is always the right job for you at the time. But of course, they go, yeah, yeah, we know what you're asking. What your heart is really wanting to know is there something else that's more in alignment for me and my energy and where I want to go and what I want to do with life? And so that's what we'll look at here. But they're like, it's the perfect job always when you're in it because you're learning and growing and a lot of clarity is coming in. But we want to know more about, am I going to be there forever or is there something else? Right. So we'll pull those cards. All right. So, Rhoda, bottom of the deck, you've got the Knight of Good Cheer, the Knight of Cups. So, this tells me that there is something more in alignment with your heart than this current job for you. Um, and as you discover and follow your heart, I love, because we can get overwhelmed when we think I have to figure out what my entire career is going to be for the rest of my life. That's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, right? So when we're like, is this my calling? Is this what I'm supposed to do? And they're like, life is so much different than that, really, from spirit's point of view. They're like, follow your heart. Where's it going to take you? It knows the way. So just follow your heart. Don't think you have to figure out the whole thing. Just where's your heart taking you right now? Go do that next thing. That'll take you to the next thing. That'll take you to the next thing. Because you were brought to this place, your current job now, following your heart, and it's just another stepping stone and taking you where your heart is wanting to take you. So that's the bottom of the decks. That tells me right away you're not going to be in this job for very long. Definitely not by the end of the year. I feel like your journey here. Let's look at the stepping stones here. So you got the 5 of canes, the 5 of swords. This is the battle between your head and your heart. Your mind telling you, this is what you should do, supposed to do, need to do, have to do. It's logical. This is what people would want you to do. Blah, 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 right? Well, when the I love this, I just noticed when the head is making the decisions here, cut it off, right? There's the snowman's head. And let the heart, you know, let your heart guide you, or at least at the very, very least, let them have a seat at the table and let the mind and the heart work together and moving on something that's more, desirable. Because when the head makes the decision, it might make sense, it might be logical, it might be safe, but the heart is pouting. I'm not having fun. The heart wants to have fun. It wants to enjoy life. It wants to have passion expressed through it in life. And so that's the battle that goes on between the head and the heart. You have the child. Yeah, new adventures coming in here. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, but I just feel like there's something more here because this is the full card, the child card is about it's the first card in the major arcana. It's the world card is the last card. It's the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of something that's non-restrictive, something that's really open and expansive, a world of possibilities, nothing keeping you and holding you back. It's like a childhood dream that, I want to be an astronaut. And then, of course, as soon as children share their dreams, adults squash them and go, choose something more reasonable, more logical. Get out of that little fantasy world of your heart and get it makes some sense. And so, thanks for deflating my dreams. But this is about igniting a childlike dream, looking at the world as nothing is impossible and to move forward. Yeah, and the king of good cheer, the king of cups, balancing of the head and heart. So definitely these 3 cards coming in together, with the knight of heart is talking about finding something that makes you excited and that your heart is truly passionate about. It makes your heart sing, it makes it want to dance, and it's something that just feels fulfilling instead of what you know the the head wants, right? So that's an important piece here. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah, you got the 5 of candles and the 2 of candles. So again, fives are conflicting energy. It means there's something that's in front of you that is wanting to be seen, wanting to be known. And, because when we have even number cards, it's like there's even number on each side and there's this beautiful flow in the middle. But when there's an odd number, it's something right there that doesn't let us get past it. And it's comes in for us to look at it and so we can transform it and elevate and evolve into the next, so you move from the 5 of wands to the 6 of wands, and then from the 6 of wands we have another obstacle come in with the 7 of wands, but then brings us to the 8 of wands, and it's like all this progression. But we have obstacles that come before us that are kind of the trampoline that lets us jump to the next level. And so we have that coming in here. You have the 2 of candles, which they're saying that you could even burn the candle at both ends, and actually they're like, "No, you can have 2 candles. You don't even have to burn it at both ends. You can have 2 candles." And I like this. It's like you can continue to do what you're doing now, but I feel like you're gonna discover something that just makes your heart just like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I'd love to do, and I'm gonna start working toward it. I can do this job and do that and da da da, but it's gonna fund my dream." And I feel like this is like you making plans, you deciding what it is I want and putting a plan together and start taking step toward it. I really like that for you. Yeah, and you have the Eight of Swords. This is you becoming aware of your own thoughts and beliefs. The head stuff we were talking about that is keeping you feeling from, it's blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. Well, I can't do that. Um, but this child card, the full card, is nothing's impossible. And you're realizing the only restriction on that's making you feel limited is in here, not out here. Spirit is saying everything is possible. Yeah. Both of these cards together, you got Krampus, which is the devil card, which is Capricorn Saturn energy, the shaking and the rattling of your cage to allow you to see the limiting thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, the things you grew up with, the long held beliefs of, well, no, we're not supposed to be irresponsible and like live our dream or something like that. We're supposed to be, what is it? I'm living to work. Oh, no, we work to live, not we don't live to be a slave, a worker. We work in order to live our lives, live our dreams. And there's a difference and a switch that I feel comes in this year with all of this for you. So hopefully that brings some clarity in what you were looking for there. That there is something bigger for you. Let's see what your little fortune cookie happiness card says here. So what else? What else for Rhoda? All right. So I like these little cards. Don't let feelings be facts. Give yourself some space to calm down before you reply. I like this. Kind of step back and give yourself some space to just contemplate and not feel from a place of fear, but feel from your higher heart. I kind of feel like this energy coming in here, and it allows you that space to really see what it is that would truly make your heart sing. So I like that for you. Very good. Well, I'm very happy for you, Rhoda, because I feel like by the end of the year, definitely you're going to be well on your way to taking a lot of steps towards this dream. Here it being the 4th of January. But I feel like over the, definitely during these, it's like winter during this solstice. I just feel like you're able to, I feel like you're getting into your job and give yourself some grace too. Yeah, I know how you feel. I always wanted to be the expert in whatever job I was in, and when I would become an expert, then I'd get bored and I'd want to go to a different position, a different company, different job, and then you start off at the bottom again, not feeling stupid, right? Because you're not an expert, and we're like, I got to be an expert. And you're like, you've been here a week. Allow yourself time to learn. I'm like, no, I got to be the expert. So I understand, but give yourself some grace, right? So yeah, at the moment, but that's the thing is, you're a fast learner. You're going to be an expert before long. You'll be what we used to call a Spock, right? A special point of contact. You're going to have expertise, and then you're going to get bored again because and the reason why, and I realized this myself when I went from job to job to job, it was more, I mean, I worked for the same company. My last company I worked for over 20 years, but I must have had, you know, gosh, I don't even know, 15 different positions at least, all over the place. Um, and that's what I was, uh, you know, very knowledgeable individual about our company because I worked in so many departments and knew the reasons why behind things and the, you know, connecting all the dots and all that stuff. But I was searching, and I wasn't happy because I wasn't looking in here from my heart. I was looking out here from this, you know, Aquarius sun, Capricorn rising, but I got a ton of water in my chart. but those were the rulers of my mission up to that point. So I like it for you. So that is what they have. Be gentle with yourself. All right. Much love to you, Rhoda. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And then we have Gemini, Sun, Aquarius, Moon. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. I am on the mend. I'm feeling much, 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 much better. So thank you. So you want to know, will RC be successful at putting the house up for sale mid to late January? All right, we'll look at that first. Okay, well, let's just take a look. 8 of Cups. Leaving behind emotions that don't serve him more, moving into something that feels like a dream come true. So yes, they will be successful in putting the house up for sale, because it does feel like they're, that's the walking away from something. So that does feel very aligned with that. And when they move, will it be closer to your house? Is it closer? Is it closer? We got the Wheel of Fortune. So this is very fortunate. And so I do feel like this would be um, a an affirmative with that, because the Wheel of Fortune does tell us that whatever unfolds is for us, and we can trust that. But there's also a little caveat that says that when this card comes out, sometimes our human in life is go, "How is that for me?" But with the Wheel of Fortune, even our humans on board going, "Oh, that's for me." So if you feel it's for you that they would live near you, then that's a yes as well. So they'll be closer to your house. And then will they need to stay with you for a couple of weeks? We'll look at that one first, or keep furniture here. So we'll look at both of those separate. Will they need to stay with you? You got the not the 9 of coins, the 9 of canes, which is the 9 of swords. That's nightmare and insomnia. So that's a no, that they won't have to stay with you. Because there's a lot of reasons why that comes out for you, right? One is that you would really like it, but there's also fears around it, and there's a lot of I would say that there's some anxiety about having someone in your space, even though you'd like them to be there. There's also some anxiety about then they'll see how I really live. Not in a scary way. What is all that? Is that all? Oh, that's I was gonna say, are those candy wrappers? But no, they're crumpled up papers. But there's a lot of that, wow, but it's that two double-edged sword, right? It's like a dream, but there's also scary things around it. But with that card, I don't feel like they would need to actually live with you. What about furniture and storage? Would you need that there? No, they got the Ace of Swords here, which is clarity, and it feels very simple. So it feels like things go um, just very flow, like there's fears relieved and things just unfold, and there's a flow that kind of happens with that. So I don't feel like they would there. Um, that's theirs. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, I don't feel like they would. I just feel like they're gonna have arrangements that are there already. Let's see what else. Anything else about this move? No, none of those. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of emotional choices and a lot of this is the Lovers card here. So it just feels like no, it just feels like it would I don't I wanna use a different word, but interfere in your relationship. Yeah, I don't feel a different word that comes in there. So I just feel, oh, like crash on the couch for a couple days or something like that. No, I really don't feel. We've got the Emperor card, and I just feel like there's this Aries in charge kind of energy. I just feel like it's it's time for the that's funny that it's time for the child emperor to become the emperor, if that makes sense. It's like instead of being like the child that has the advisor that pretty much rules and that little kid tells things, right? That it's time for them to be the big boy. It's time to grow up and take responsibility, take action, step in their authority is the that energy. So I don't feel like they'll need to. And I like that because it's like good. And and that's all right. And it's okay for you if they're like, "Hey, I need to," it's okay for you to go, "Um, I don't know. It feels weird to me," or whatever. And you can say that, and you can have your boundaries too, right? Let's see what else I wanna tell you here with um your happiness, fortune cookie here. Yeah, I like this. So be yourself. Don't try to fit into uh, someone else's mold. Exactly as I was saying, right? You know, you don't have to alter your go, oh well, you know, it's like, no, I can say no and it's okay. Well, I don't want them to get mad. Eh, if they're gonna get mad over it, then they're telling you who they are, right? And when we're afraid, if we are afraid of, oh, what will people think or what will they think if I say no? Um, it's okay, because we can't always be a crutch for people. Sometimes people need to stand on their own, and then, it's tough. I know because I used to be an overgiver, over giver, and I would give until it hurt me, and then I wouldn't have enough, and then it's like, uh oh, and oh yeah, yeah, cool. Well, good. I'm glad you're okay. Uh, with saying no. Well, I mean, all that your Gemini, all your air, your Gemini and your Aquarius, you're okay being yourself. Aquarius sun, so I get that. Fry your own freak flag. I will say no if I feel like it. All right. That's what they have for you there. So hopefully that brings the clarity that you're needing to know there. But I don't feel like you're going to have to worry about it. I feel like they're going to have everything under control for a change. What? They're little, they're growing up right before your eyes. All right. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donation. And then Rocky's World, you are up next. Thank you for your donation. So thank you for that. Let me give that a love and a like. I want to know, how does Michael J in spirit feel about you? All right. Like Michael Jackson? I'm just kidding. All right. So let's take a look here. How does RC not RC, but J. All right. How do they feel in spirit? All right. So, Rocky. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Gifts, the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So I like this, both in that they see how nurturing and creative and Just nurturing to others, but I do feel like there's this energy that's coming in that they are kinda giving you this kudos that you've, learned to care for yourself and nurture yourself. And whereas before you might have been a little self-sacrificial, I feel like you've really, um, kind of freed yourself from some fears of what will people think, and, I to the point of, like, because I feel like you would, like, give until you were exhausted and then give until you were resentful, and you were tired of all that, and you're like, "It's time for me. I'm gonna give myself this love," and I feel like that's really there. They even have the, Hanged Man here, which is this energy of transformation and change and, you know, evolution from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And so I feel like they're just really congratulating you on these important steps you've taken for your own life here. So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. So that was the bottom of the deck. So you've got the 7 of, cups here, and then also the 8 of swords. They call them canes and of good cheer. But both of these are realizations, and, like, the 7 of cups, I feel like they're saying you've really become comfortable feeling your emotion and not stuffing them. And even feeling the lower vibrational ones that before, like, no, 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 you're not supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to be of good cheer always. And it's like, no, all these 7 of cups, there's all these different emotions. I can feel the different emotions, and it's okay. It's it's um it's about not living them in them, but it's like you the fastest way, um, past emotions is through them, and I feel like they're kind of telling you that it's, again, it's like a kudos, and the 8 of swords is you've really been questioning thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and becoming aware of those that had made you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small and worthless and blah, 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 those small things. You really have been doing a lot of your emotional work and story work, your mental, um, belief system work, and I just feel like there's this huge kudos, with all of that. And then, yeah, again, you know, you had the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and you have the Empress, the Major Arcana, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, creativity, birthing of things. And you've got this 2 of gifts, this 2 of pentacles, like it's you're birthing 2 important things in your life. And, um, unless you're having twins, you're like, "What? No." No. But there's like it's like you're birthing these 2 important things in your life, and they are these gifts, and that you're bringing forth gifts. Like the gifts you can give the world in whatever way that you're bringing this forward, but again there's this recognition of, yes, you have done this, you're able to do this, I've seen you do it both, and I kind of feel like one is either completed or in progress, and one, because they can see the future too, they see you complete this other thing. So there's these 2 huge gifts that you're able to offer the world, and they're just really wanting you to know that. Um, I just feel like it's important. I don't know, it's funny, they're bringing in Harry Potter, so I don't know if they were a Harry Potter fan or you are. But it's the one where, Hermione, she had the little locket where she could go back in time, and how when Harry Potter was rescued by that, the stag, the light, bright stag, and he thought it was his father, but when they went back in time and he realized it was him doing it, you are a Harry Potter fan, yeah. Yeah, very proud of you. All these kudos. But they're saying like they're like, now that you know you can complete it, you have the confidence to do it. And it's like he goes, it's like one of those little time continuum things that used to make my head hurt that you always got. But you get it, right? That's funny. So very, very I love that they bring in Harry Potter for you. So very positive there. And then this other one, yeah, the 5 of gifts. This is this, energy of, um, feeling left behind, abandoned. And I don't kind of feel like there's this it's not well, is it an apology? They're like, not that you would expect me to apologize, but, um, I know that sometimes you might feel like you're left behind and that that I not that I abandoned you, but it's that kind of feeling of, I know sometimes it feels lacking. It does feel like I left behind and you're left out in the cold and, I'm over there and you're here. But we knew it. We knew this beforehand. They're like, I have the receipt. Do you need me to show you the receipt? It has your signature on it. Do you need me to show it to you? We knew this beforehand that I would be gone first and but that over here, I can do so much more for you than I could ever do there. And I do support you. I do. Um, yeah, I just feel like I bring you gifts, just these gifts in the window. You know, this all these presents in the stained glass. I bring you gifts all the time, little reminders of me all over the place, and it's to let you know that I've never left you. I might not be there physically, but the moment I left my physical body, I was right by your side, and I will not leave your side. I'm with you 24/7 until join them on the other side as well. So I like this, that they're gifts all over the place, and I can give you so much more than I ever could. Look, literally, ace of gifts. Gifts at your doorstep, gifts through the window, on the window. Something about fog and like a heart on a window kind of thing. It's like that's what they're showing me. How you would and then draw stuff on it. And so I just feel like there's that, like I'm giving you messages everywhere in all sorts of different ways. But definitely I feel like the big message is how proud they are of everything that you've done and all the gifts that you can give the world. I'm supporting you. I'm with you. Um, is he in love with you? Well, you know, there's this, well, in spirit, we have unconditional love for everyone. So they're like, technically, yes, but I'm not going to leave you with that feeling of, you know, white lies of uh, leave you with an impression. They're like, we love everybody. So he's so funny. You know how you'd have to make sure to ask me the right question because I don't do that anymore. That's funny. Let's see here. And then for your happiness fortune cookie, let's see what comes in here. Well, no, he says not those. He's so funny. All right, there we go. One finally. Yeah. Be silly. Let yourself be bad at something. So I like that. Just be silly, have fun. Don't try to be perfect at everything. Um, Not that I think you are too serious, but I feel like sometimes they're like, you've been pretty serious lately, in comparison anyway. And it's time to be silly and have some fun and just have some joy. So I like that. So that is what they have for you right now, Rocky. So thank you again for your donation. And that is what they have. And Gemini Sun, if you're still here, you wanted to know, will RC have any issues with selling his home? I don't I don't feel like issues. I don't feel like it's going to be like a really, really long time. I don't feel like it's going to be because I feel like there's a lot of instability just in the market with the change of administrations and everything. A lot of people are just like, wait a minute, let me make sure what's going on before I invest in a home. I just feel like there's kind of like just this pause and then things unfold. So I don't feel like it's going to be too long before they sell their home. All right. Sorry, I didn't see that before I started the other reading. All right. So thank you again, Rocky. And then Olivia, you are up next. So just to give everyone an update of where we're at here, let me just look at timestamps. So we got Olivia up next. And then we have Aria. And then Nelia. And then Moonlight 5. And then back to Nelia. And then back to Moonlight. And then to Moonlight. And then we jump over here. Oh, Maria, welcome back to Maria via the PayPal. And then back to Nelia. Nelia, triple Nelia, and then back to Aria. So that is where we're at right now. All right. So Olivia, thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. Happy New Year to you too. Glad to see you. So glad to be back. All right. So S has been on your mind a lot ever since New Year's Eve. Uh-oh. Is it just me, or is S thinking heavily about you too? And then if so, why? Nosy. Allow spirit to be nosy. Yeah, right? You know, I try to push for you guys. Say as much information as we can get, as they'll leak to me, right? Let's take a sip here. Yum, yum. Iced coffee on a Saturday night. All right. So, is he thinking heavily about you too? We'll start there. Just kind of stepping into their energy here. All right. And then if so, why? Evidently they are. Well, we'll see what these cards are here, but I want that one and I want that one, but I also want this one right here. Okay. All right. So let's find out what we've got going on here. I like the bottom of the deck. We start off with the Queen of Canes or the Queen of Swords, which is a balance between head and heart. But it's one of my cards that represents just like such a compatible person. And I just feel, you know, from their standpoint with this energy starting off without seeing these other cards, it just feels like you fit like a glove. You guys just mesh very well. And I don't feel like that's normal for him. And I don't know why they think they're weird, but I just feel like they've never really, you know, it's like they felt like a square peg trying to fit into round holes everywhere. And they've never felt that, like it never really, um, worked that way. Or a round peg going into square holes, which they could fit, but there's always pieces missing, right? So that's a better analogy, which they're showing me. It's like, yeah, I could be in these relationships or these interactions with people, but it didn't feel like it was complete. It's like, I don't know why they're showing me a five-finger glove, but someone's missing a thumb. It's like, it's never doesn't feel quite right. There's always something missing. Oh, that's funny. All right. So I feel like that they are thinking of you that way. And, that kind of comes in that way. So, it's just, I don't know. All right, and so this is it just you? No. You got the Knight of Candles. That was just the bottom of the deck. We got the Knight of Candles, movement of passion, movement of wow, right? And the Child. And it feels like a dream come true. It's like this hope, this newness, this adventure kind of feel like they have. Like, wow, I'm waiting for Santa to come down the chimney, right? They're just like, it just feels exciting. It's like a child on Christmas Eve. They're just can't wait. And that's that kind of energy, right? So I like that. Um, so more about why. So obviously, with these two cards and the Queen of Swords, it does tell us all that. So let's see what these other cards are here. Gonna do them in this order they say. So first up, we got the Three of Candles, the Three of Wands. You're strange. You're not wrong. That's not what you answered. You said that before I said that. But they're like, you're an off ramp. You're different. And they love that about you. Um, because it's like, well, this is the way it always goes. And they're like, oh no, it don't. You're an off ramp into a different adventure, and it's refreshing, and it's like I said, you're weird. Well, you're unique, right? And then the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Canes. This is this. They've been, there's been betrayal in their lives. They've been this, this energy that they've had. A lot of betrayal, a lot of liars, a lot of deceivers, a lot of people pretending to be something, um, and then the reveal and going, "Oh my God," you're not, who you presented yourself to be at all. And I feel like this again, one of the reasons why is like you're so real, and I feel like you walk your walk, you talk, you walk the talk, and you do this, right? And um it's just like, again, refreshing and different. They're just like, who are you? So I like that. King of Canes, King of Swords, the ruler over overthinking. No, but they're also, of higher thoughts and higher wisdom and higher education. And so this tells me that one of the things that they like, and again, you've got, divine counterparts coming in here. Again, such a great fit. But I feel like you guys have great minds, and you guys can communicate a lot, and you guys have great communication. And it's like you guys, I don't know if you like talk for hours and hours and hours. I feel like you have the capacity to where you guys could carry on conversation a whole day with each other, and that there's just you get and even references like, and I don't know if this just they're what they're showing me in my head, and I'll just share it as like movie references. Like my host, this is funny. She was watched a lot of movies growing up. I've watched a lot of movies growing up. Her a lot more than me. I think her memory, she can recite movies, right? But I'd say 75% of the time, she could say a line from a movie, and I know the next line, or I know what reference it is, and it's just like it's fun when you have someone that you can just like, you get me," and I feel like that's the kind of energy that comes in with that. And then the star, yeah, they do feel like it's a dream come true. They're just like, wow. So pretty, pretty awesome energy that's there. So, I like that for you. I hope that's not too much that we revealed, but but that's what's going on inside them. And then we'll pull this other one. Hey, good night, Johanna. Sleep well. We'll see you on the flip side. Get your rest. Rest, rest, rest. All right. And then let's take a look here at your happiness fortune cookie. Nope, none of those. There it is. Let's see what this is. I like it. The all-seeing eye. Perspective. Look for the silver linings. And I love that. And this could be some of what your energy too, that you look for gratitude, you look for the positive in things, and they like that too. You're not focusing on negative, 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 what's going wrong, who someone's not being, what someone's not being, who you're not being. I feel like you have a pretty upbeat attitude and they like your perspective and they like that you know, don't go, oh, they they burnt my toast. It's like you're like, oh, it's okay. You know, a little bit of ash is good for your digestive tract, you know. So I like that. Oh, you haven't talked in a while. Yeah. Well, I like this too. Look for the silver linings and things like that. And, you know, um, are you saying that he did something where you're not talking to him or they are not talking to you? Because if they did something, yeah, because if they did something that put them on the naughty list and you're withholding the presents from them now, Miss Claus, that it's, you know, we're never going to meet anyone that's going to meet 100% of, oh, he chose someone else. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. But look for the silver linings. Everything happens for you. You either avoided a bullet or you learned a lot about what you love in someone. Um, but yeah, just it's all about perspective and go, okay, well, I learned a lot about me through that as well. Um, but wow, yeah, surprised you chose someone else. But there is also that, um, the because we have the three of wands on the bottom about you being weird and the off ramp into something different. And coming back to that seven of swords, that energy where they've been betrayed and lied to and everything. Until they change their energy, they're going to draw in things that match it. And your energy doesn't match them yet, right? Right? Yeah. And I feel like we're on the same page there, Olivia, because I feel like the lesson is repeated until it is learned. And yeah, I feel like if they haven't realized it yet, they're going to realize, and it's not so much that it's a mistake, it's that they need, you know, the lesson is repeated until it is learned. Our teachers are going to show us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it. And so it's like they were not energetically ready for you. They needed to deal with some other stuff first, right? They needed to really understand and um, experience this betrayal because they have their own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that betray them. and they need a mirror that's gonna reflect that back to them, and that's not you. You're not that mirror. Um, so you couldn't be that for them at that point, right? Here's that perspective. Excuse me. They needed to experience getting beat again until they're like, "Oh, I get it now." And then you're like, "Yeah, well, good. I'm glad that you were able to do that." And, of course, you had things mirrored to you that you learned um, through your interactions and then through them choosing someone else. Huge one, right? That's our like one of our huge human awarenesses is when we realize facing what it feels like not to be chosen, right? Ugh. But it allows us to work through all those feelings of abandonment, not being enough, not being good enough, blah, 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 that we learn when we're younger, that are bubbling below the surface, and boop, here they come, right? And then we get to transform those. So I don't know if he's necessarily realized the mistake yet, but I feel like it's about to come fully into their face going, "Oh, crap," that's coming in. Yeah, and that's good because, you know, I always think it's, you know, from a human perspective, it's like, how much more that they would appreciate you after he gets screwed over one more time by someone else. I'm gonna walk on water, and I don't even have to try. But so all that makes sense. I mean it from a higher perspective, right? To our human, we're like, "What the hell?" But, that's what they have for you, my dear. So, thank you again for your donation. Hang in there, and much love to you. Happy New Year to you. All right. Hey, happy New Year, Lucky. Mm. Oh, will he reach out? I feel like, you know, that they're a pretty honorable person. Like they honor commitments. I don't feel like they'll reach out until the deed is done where they've been stabbed in the back. Um, let me see. I'm just gonna push for some timing here. Hey, Danielle. Okay. Yeah, Four of Cups. Boredom, boredom, boredom. I'm sick and tired of experiencing these same people over and over and over again. Oh, you recently learned that he's been stabbed. Yeah. So, this Four of Cups. I mean, the Four of Cups energy is about stagnant emotional energy and tired of the same old, right? So I do feel like there's and it's also the card of emotional stability too. So, um, you know, I feel like there's this they want to give them time to get to a stable place where they're not just going, "Hey," because they just I don't feel like they're that type of person that would be like, "Well, it didn't work out and everything, so hey, I'm back." They're like, "Oh, that I don't want to be that guy, that person, or whatever." Um, so and we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is transformation. So I do feel like they will reach out, but I feel like it's going to be more. I don't know why February 1st is standing out in my head. It's a new month. Okay, I've waited. Yeah, I like this. I've waited the 4-week required waiting period. um, so that's interesting. But yeah, so February 1st or in February, but I kind of feel like that's why 2-1 was showing up there for me. But yeah, so that's what's coming in there. Or just the respectable thing, That's why I feel like they have some quirky rules. Like, well, you don't, it's like you don't go into the pool right after you ate. You don't just jump back into a relationship just because one ended. You gotta wait. You gotta give it a month. You gotta give it 4 weeks. And then, so that's funny. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Alrighty. Let's see. Where are we at? So we are over to here. So Aria, thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. And celebrating your 10th super on live stream. So you're having an identity crisis since everything's falling apart in your life again, and you'd like to know, why am I here? Is there a purpose? Like here in this identity crisis or here on the planet? We know you're here on purpose, for a purpose, because there are no mistakes. There are no extra puzzle pieces in this giant puzzle of life. So you're not extra. You're not here by accident. You're definitely here as far as the big picture. And if you weren't, the puzzle would be incomplete. Love you too, Olivia. So let's take a look here and see, what does Spirit want you to know about this identity crisis. And and you're definitely not alone. And I'm so glad that you are part of our tribe here, because you know life is designed in a way that turns us inward, right? Yeah, one step forward, 10 steps back. The bottom of the deck, you have the 3 of Swords, which is normally a heart with 3 swords stuck in it. And I imagine that's what you're feeling right now, like your heart is torn open, right? And and that's fear. Our hearts are so strong; they can never be broken. But what we feel when we feel like there's this, giant sword stuck in our heart, is fear. And I remember when Spirit taught me this, because they're like, your heart can't be broken. I'm like, well, explain exhibit A, B, C, D, and E. Each of these times my heart was felt that way. And they were like, and they just reminded me of, I have an older brother, and we used to scare the crap out of each other as teenagers, like wait in, you know, like wait in their bedroom in the dark in the closet. And so when he would come in from a shower, and I'd have his little closet door just cracked a little bit. As he opened it, I would reach out and grab his, his foot, and and we would, do this to each other, because that's what siblings are designed to do, is to scare the crap out of each other, right? And give us all these wonderful experiences. But, it's what Spirit showed me, is like, that shocking feeling we have when we're startled. That's the prick in our heart. We're going into fight or flight mode because something within us felt frightened. Now, when I realize that, it's them, it stops and the feeling goes away. But emotional monsters are the ones that create this, looped, because we don't resolve our emotional monsters like that. We have to process and think about it and understand it. That's why heartbreak is actually just our being scared on a loop, feeling I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm never going to find love again, I'm a failure, blah blah blah, all those fears, right, that we come down here to experience. But your identity crisis, that is the human adventure, because we grow up being told who we are and all the stories, all the meaning, right? over and over and over again. This is who you are. This is what defines you. And we're told, look out here into the outside world. Your self-worth is defined by relationships of all kinds, friends, family, lovers, schoolmates, workmates, blah, 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 right? And then also the second bucket, you're defined by your education, your job, your career, your social status, situations that you get in. And then the third bucket, you're defined by your body, your possessions, your how much money you have, how many, that worth. And the thing about all that is that it's all unstable. And our self-worth is designed to come from self, inward and upward. Self-worth. When we are told to define ourselves by the outside world, which most humans are taught to define ourselves by the outside world, that's retail price. That's the worth that we feel we are to others. And that's um, unstable because you can be a big parka coat in northern Alaska during the winter and be priceless. People are fighting over you. You can be that same coat during the summer on an island on the equator, and you don't even make it to the clearance rack. You're just donated to Goodwill. And that's the fickleness of retail price of the outside world. It depends on the person in the moment, how they're feeling, and we know, like, I can wake up feeling sick and my opinion of everyone might be a little less than normal because I'm irritated. And then I can wake up in a joyful mode and I think everyone's wonderful. And that's the fickleness of opinion, of other people's opinion of other things. It's always through our own eyeglasses. We see the world through our filter of who we are. And that's why it's constantly changing, constantly different. And so, this identity crisis that we go through is that we're told so much growing up about who we are and what defines us to find out that it's all a lie. And that is the crisis going, well, I don't know who I am anymore. And it's like, isn't that exciting? It's scary as hell. It's like, it's like a table, like our heart is a table, and we're the only ones that can put the things on the table, but everyone's handing us stuff, and then we're just loading it up with stuff over and 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 over. Um, and we have that confused like if you ever go to like a flea market, it's just all this crap that's on a table, right? All this stuff that doesn't make sense. And then the identity crisis is when all that gets, you know, thrown off the table, and it feels scary because it's a blank slate. But now I get to decide what I'm going to put on that table, and I get to do that. And we all have this at some point in our life. We have an identity crisis because we realize I don't want to be what everyone is telling me I'm supposed to be. It doesn't resonate with who I am on the inside. And I need to be who I am, not who everyone's telling me I'm supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be. And that's the design of the planet. Eventually, everything that we're trying to fulfill ourselves by the outside world falls flat because it all is unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. Situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen. All that outside world is unstable, and when we define ourselves by those things, we feel unstable. But that's to turn us inward. Eventually, it's like the world is designed not to fulfill us, not can't. What we're searching for is the eternal unconditional love that we can only find in our own heart. Everything else in the outside world is imitation, it's conditional, it's temporary, it's unstable. And so it points us inward. Everything keeps pointing us inward until we're like, "Oh, my identity, when I turn inward and upward and I define my worth by the eternal unconditional love of the spirit world that it has for me, then I feel stable. Then I find my true identity that comes in with all that, right? And eventually it's the breaking of all that false construct, right? the house of cards falls apart and we realize it's a facade. That's just props. This is my true identity. And then we remember who we really are: powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love, kind of having a finger puppet down here in the physical human world for the experience to understand ourselves more deeply. So we experience a lot of who we're not to understand who we really are. And that's the bottom of the deck. Let's look at these other ones. What does Faith and Love say? The hardest part of healing journey for you is trying to teach yourself your worth isn't determined how others see me and define. Yeah. Because we're so brainwashed with it growing up, right? It's all around us. It's a giant amusement park of fear rides. So there's a lot of opportunities to fear, but once we get a hold of that anchor, things change, right? Yeah. And here it is. Here's the identity shadow that comes in to shake and rattle our world so that these long held beliefs, this brainwashing, the conditioning we've had, it brings it to our face so that we can face it and be freed from this cage we have ourselves in instead of living in a cage and not realizing it, right? And so it does happen for us, even though it feels like crap in the beginning because it's scary. It feels, oh, who am I? But then we learn to be fluid. We learn to be just sit here and know that I am me. And we can be instead of try to become something, right? And you have the nine of good cheer. Yeah, the nine of cups. This is the love from inside, the nine of cups. Nine is the hermit, energy. And I like they're showing in my head, there's this deck, one of the many tarot decks I have, which it has like, is it 4 cups and then 3 cups and then 2 cups and 1 cup, whatever equals nine. But the ace of cups, which is our higher love, is what's at the top. It's like a champagne kind of fountain where it's filling up, and that love fills up the rest of our heart and experience here. And this is what they're saying here. They're reinforcing basically everything I said. They're just without cards, just channeled them. See what else we have here. Yeah. So you have a lot of clarity coming in with the Ace of Canes, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Gifts does show a solid foundation coming in the outside world, but the Four of Pentacles is basically the lesson that I talked about, where we learn to define our worth from the inside. So they're reinforcing it with the cards, but they pretty much just let it roll. But all these cards are supporting that because that is the journey of realizing that my foundation of my worth comes from in here. And when I look to the outside world, I'm always going to feel unstable um, when I do that here. Yeah, and you have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Wands. There's this perseverance. It's this encouragement from Spirit. Just know that you're going to be able. Right now we have the spilt cups, that the lower vibrational motions, but I love that they have the rainbow. You know, which the rainbow is the promise that everything's going to be okay. That the Nine of Wands is about persevere. You're going to get through this. You have the power. I mean, you've overcome 100% of every challenge you've had in your life. So you've got a great track record and you're not alone. And Spirit will, guide you. Just ask them for assistance, ask them to help bring clarity. But you get to define who you are from inward and upward, not by this outside stuff. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And then here's your happiness. I know happiness doesn't sound like obtainable right now, but this is your happiness fortune cookie. Mm, yeah. It says, get some rest. It's hard to be happy when you're tired. And sometimes just sleeping and resting is what we need. And then when we awake, we can see things from a different perspective as well. So Yeah, exactly. Faith and love. Everything is always working out for our highest experience, like it's hard to for our human to realize how can this be good for me? But then, you know, I think we talked about the tower earlier today. Once that tower burns down and it's replaced by a castle, then it's like, wow, or we our life is shaken and we realize the shackles and stuff that we've had on us, when we take them all off and we have this freedom, we're like, I wouldn't have known this had this not happened. And now I'm free. I'm so glad it did. It's like when you go through Kaka Valley, when you're going through it and you have crap up to your nose, it's not enjoyable. But when you get to the other side and you've cleaned off and you smell like fresh daisies or fresh flowers, you look back and like, I'm glad I've gone through that journey and that's over because I've learned so much. And now there's this higher adventure I get to go on. But if I never crossed that, I would never be able to go where I'm going to go. So hang in there, and much love to you. Thank you again for your donation. Righty. And then up next, we've got Nelia Maderos, number 1. So thank you for your emoji. And that question is here's how does your brother-in-law and your nephews feel about you not having Christmas at your house this year? And how do they feel about their mom upset at you about it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that from earlier, right? Let's take a look here. So how do they feel? It's your brother-in-law and your nephews, and how do they feel about grumpy pants? So your brother-in-law, yeah, he's a more of a big thinker. He sees things from a different perspective, right? And that's funny. Here's the nine of pentacles. I feel like they were like, it was just a lot less hassle. I think they just had Christmas at their house. It just felt like, yeah, you know, they're more easygoing, the brother-in-law. Because they deal with Firestarter, your sister, um, they're more even keeled, see things from a logical place. They like the fire. I mean, they're attracted to her fireness, but that's why she was attracted to him too. It's because he's a calm thinker, logical. Do, 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 do. So, he was just like, well, this works out better. Then we don't have to worry about waking up and doing this and go, 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 go. We can just enjoy the day. I just feel like that's kind of their mentality, and that's more where they come from. The nephews, all they cared about were the gifts. 10 of gifts and 4 of gifts. They're just like, yeah. They're not, you know, they don't look at you going, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't do this and didn't allow this and didn't do that." They were all about, "Well, did we get our presents?" "Yeah." "Okay. Okay." You know, children, they don't care about things like adults do. They're all super focused on presents and do I get to play with my toys now, right? Now, how do they all relate to Mamacita here, Grumpy Pants? Yeah. So, I like that. The lightning tree, they know that they steer clear of the lightning storm. So, they allow her to have her fire moments, and they know that, and they just, uh, go with it. 8 of candles, they know they're used to her fire. They're used to all the candles being lit, and they live with it every day. So, they're just like, she gets upset. She's upset with us a lot too. I just feel like they're not just like, join in. You're just one of the candles that are on fire. And the Ace of Canes, the Ace of Swords, they do see clarity. They understand things, and they just are like, whatever. They don't. Um, yeah, we hate her too, mom, or you know, yeah, we're gonna ostracize her or whatever. They're just like, there she goes again. Well, that's just normal. That's their norm. They understand she's upset with a lot of people a lot of the time because not everyone does everything that she wants them to. And when they doesn't, she's a bully, right? She just has that energy. I've got to have that, and they get that, right? And let's see what your fortune cookie here is for that situation there. But even if they did, that's the whole thing. Even if they did, even if they all hated you because you didn't do something, say la vie. That's their choice. And that just tells you, well, thank you. You make it easier for me not to worry about it anymore. Yeah. uh, yeah. I feel like this is compliment yourself. It says compliment someone. Their smile will make you smile. It's like compliment yourself. You know, looking at what other people are feeling about us is putting our power over there anyway. Compliment yourself. Smile at yourself and go, you know, confident in the things that you do so well, right? Just focus on that, not other people's opinions, because they don't see the world as it is. They're seeing the world through their eyes. So they don't see you clearly anyway. So why care about their opinions? You know, a use of our energy is how do I see them? That's the mirror showing me about me, right? So how do I feel about them? Oh, I can grow about myself. And then also focusing in on how I feel about me, right? All right. So that is what they have for that one. So thank you again for that donation. Many blessings to you. Sometimes they're easygoing. Not always. Not always. All right. So, and then Moonlight. So, this is your first one up here. So, let's give that a love and a like there. So, what's coming for you this week? Dun-dun. It's like Jaws theme. Dun-dun. Something's coming for you. Let's see what it is. And I'm almost at 8 o'clock. I can't believe time has flown by. I'm not going to get to all of the readings in this session. The donations, I'm going to go spend time with my Praying Mantis members, but I will pop back on after that and finish out all the donations and my YouTube channel memberships. And again, apologies to all the free readings that I'm not going to be able to get to this evening, but please, tomorrow, Sunday is special, where whatever I don't complete during my 2-hour session, after I go spend time with my Praying Mantis members and eat, I do come back on and finish off all readings, including all the free readings. So please come back tomorrow if I wasn't able to get to your free reading today. I'm either in the early morning session or this evening session, and I will make sure you get a message from Spirit by the end of day tomorrow. So sorry. I wish I could finish everyone's. All right. So Moonlight, sorry, what's coming for you this week? You're like, the shark is coming quickly, quickly. All right. What is coming for you this week? All right. What is unfolding here? Feel like there is a change of emotion. You've got you have the 5 and the 7 of cups here. And so there is some emotion that's been brought up on purpose for you to be aware of so that you can transform it. So I feel like the emotion has already been brought to you, and this week is you working through it and transforming it and getting to the root of it. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, the Queen of Cups, the ruler of emotion, and the master of emotion, not just the ruler with the King of Cups, but the Queen gets 2 portions of cups. So she's the master of emotion. And you do have this 8 of gifts, this 8 of pentacles, which is transformation. So both of those cards coming in are reinforcing and telling me that you are able to transform and to change this and to um, take it from something that was lower vibrational getting to the root of the fear that's below it, and you're able to, you know, move it into higher wisdom, higher knowledge, higher vibration emotion. So it's getting to go, why is this bothering me so much? Getting to the root event that caused the original echo that's been echoing. And this will take you back probably into your emotional child development, 7 years old and younger. But there's something that reminds you, and it's like, why is this coming up? And that's why it's here to help get rid of those things. Yeah, the bring in that emotional stability where whatever this thing is that kind of keeps echoing in your life, it's not going to be there anymore. With the 3 of Wands coming out with this 4 of Cups, 3 of Wands is a change of direction, a change of energy. So it's like it'd be like something that's been triggering off and on like all your life since childhood. And it's not necessarily the same situation, but the emotion that comes up. It's like it would be like a feeling of betrayal, and we can experience betrayal from our bosses, from lovers, from parents, from siblings, from friends, in all different ways. It's not going to be the exact same thing, but the feeling is the same, and it's been echoing, and now it's ready for transformation. It's ready to be done, um, so that you don't have to have it echo and echo and echo anymore. So I like that. Yeah, you got the moon energy. So definitely transformation of emotional energy. Not sure if it has to do with mothering or mother because it's Mother Luna energy, but um, it's definitely emotion that's being transformed. And you've got the Strength card, which is Leo energy, which is inner child. So again, with both of these cards coming out, it is a significant, with it being 2 major arcana, it is this big release, and it's time, and you're ready, and you've been ready. Um, but I feel like you're ready to forgive, not for someone else's sake, but for your sake, for you, so that you no longer choose to be a vessel of pain because of someone else's actions or non actions or words or silence, that you're pouring out the wrath and you're just forgiving and releasing, knowing that they did the best they could with what they knew and who they were at the time, but it doesn't mean anything about you. And so you're releasing this emotion so you could be a vessel of love instead. So I like that for you. Right. So that's that, Moonlight. Let me give you your happiness fortune cookie here. See what else they want you to know here. Yeah. Wow. So, just in case we were wondering, I think you're off, brudda-zen. It says, don't lay blame, learn to forgive instead. So, here we go. Boom shakalaka, right? All right. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention down here. Some big money. No, send me a dolphin. Oh, instead of a shark. Oh my god, an emotional week. Well, it's a good transformational emotional week. So that's good. All right. Okie dokie 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 dokie. So let's see here. So I've got about 7 more minutes. I can probably do one more reading here, and then I need to grab screenshots. But I will return this evening and finish out all donations. So do not fear. Okay. So Nelia, your second donation here. Thank you for that. With your heart eyes emoji, a general true love reading. Where, when, etc. All right. Let's take a look here. So tell us about true love for Nelia. One over that one. Okay. All righty. So the bottom of the deck, we've got the Holly King, which is the Emperor, Aries, fiery energy. And I feel what I'm getting with this is that this is a representation of who they are, and they are this individual that is like for for you're in Aries, but that's but this emperor, they're the ruler of the four kings, and so they are someone who is like well-rounded. They've got um, you know this a lot of their life in order, because in order to be an emperor over kings, you got to have your crap together, right? So I like that. Let's see what else they have here. Got the oh yeah, well, fire energy for sure. Leo energy with the strength card coming in here. Again, and this makes sense with this just strong individual, internal strength, which is where all strength comes from. You could be strong on the outside and pretend, but if you're not strong on the inside, the facade will fall apart very quickly. But they've got a great deal of inner strength and they've done a lot of work, like I said, very stable here. And I feel like that's who you need. Of course, that also oh, you so need that. Yeah, exactly. You also need a fiery person that can match your fire, right? I like that. 10 of good cheer, 10 of cups. They choose joy, 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 joy. A very happy, joyful person. And it's because they've got that inner strength. They don't go on the defensive. They don't have a lot of fears. They're just very solid. So when things happen, they know we can get through it one way or another. Or we're going to get through this or we're not. In either case, we're going to be fine. So let's calmly look at how we can move through this, around it, and like that. So I like this happy, jovial, kind of upbeat, full of love energy, because they've got love of self. And that's what's important, because when they're confident and they have love of self, they can give a lot of love and receive a lot of love through here too. So I love this. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, they've really moved past this. I felt like they dealt with a lot of this when they were younger. Abandonment. They might even have been an orphan, but they definitely dealt with a lot of abandonment, feeling lack, left behind, and they just knew that I'm either going to have to step up and change my life or I'm going to die. Kind of, maybe not to that extreme, but it feels like it. Like I can continue to feel like life is beating me down and that everything is happening to me, or I can learn and grow and transform who I am. And I feel like that's why they did so much already in their lives, because they had to. It was either death or evolution, right? So I like that. And they don't look at it going, "Oh, I had a horrible childhood." They're like, "Yeah, I had a challenging childhood and I could have chose to off myself, but I decided to live." That's the power that they have. I like this. Yeah, Knight of Canes, Knight of Swords. So I do feel that like they they worked 2 jobs and went to school even. Like they really I feel like they're educated and they really this changing of mindset. So they're intelligent, but they're wise. They're streetwise, wise, but also smart. Um and so I like this. Wow. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, 9 of cups and 6 of candles. So, yeah, 6 of cups, victory, 9 of cups, like a dream come true. And so, we definitely have this amazing, amazing, you know, feels like a dream come true for you. It is that true love. But the 9 of cups tells us that yeah, even on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Ace of Cups. It starts with your self-love. You can't receive or give love more than the love you have for yourself, and no matter how wonderful they are, The true love is here. They bringing it back to true love happens in here, and um, you will meet them when you raise your love vibration, because that's what's going to draw you guys together, and not until then. It's like you guys agreed. I don't want our relationship to be the messy one. I want to learn the lessons through other people so that I'm not bitter toward you. And you guys laughed. But there was like, okay, I'm ready for, once I get to that point, then that's what we'll draw. So the when has to do with how much raising your self-love and your self-worth. That's the speed at which it happens. But you guys are drawn together, and I do feel like once you do that, you'll start bumping into each other in several places, but that's like later. I feel like you guys are both working on getting yourself to that place first. Yeah, I like this. Apologize. It says build bridges instead of burning them down. But that's what I feel like you guys are building this bridge to one another because you're raising your love vibration. That's where you meet. You meet at the top of the rainbow. And I feel like that's going to mean something one day, that, oh, we met at the top of the rainbow. Like here in the United States in St. Louis, they have this arch. It's like, we met there. Oh my God, it was the rainbow. It's funny. But that's what's coming in here. All right. So that is for that. Now I'm going to grab here. Let me grab screenshots here. I will return after I go spend some time with my Praying Mantis members and take a quick break just to regenerate. But I will come back and finish all donations and my YouTube channel members, and apologize to all of the free readings that I didn't get to this evening. But please come back tomorrow. Sundays I do come back on, and I do finish out all readings. Let me just see, I lost my place. Okay. That's what happens when you try to do two things at the same time. Let me see here. Okay, so that was right there. All right. So, but I will return and come back. Moonlight, I don't do timestamps, but I do put a note, a comment, a pinned comment on the stream when I return, listing the order in which the reading's completed, so you can find it really fast that way, because you'll see who I'm on and how far you're away from them and all that. So it's usually pretty easy to find your place there. All right, sorry, almost done here. Grabbing the screenshots. All right. I think we are to right there. Let me grab this here. And okay, and I see both of your questions are there, Nova, right? Yep, so you got your one and your two. Perfect. Maria, no, you didn't miss your reading. I didn't get to it, but I will return. So I will come back after my Praying Mantis session. So I'll be back. I'll be back. So, and thank you guys so much for all your patience, and especially you guys, wanting free readings, and you try and you try and you try. But Sunday, tomorrow, I will make sure you get answers from Spirit. So please return and put your question in, and we'll make sure you get an answer. All right. So I'll be back in a little while. This is my first session with my Praying Mantis members for a couple weeks, so might go a little longer. But I will be back tonight at some point and finish out all those readings. So I'll be back on for those. So thank you guys so much for all the love, all the support. I'm so glad we're on this journey together in this lifetime. And until I see you guys again, hang in there, take care of yourselves. Much love. And remember, every second of every day of our lives, we truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So we'll see you soon. um, no timestamps, but I do put a list of the order in which the readings are completed, so you'll be able to find those. And generally, what I do, like, because you have a couple, I'll just put them all together, so you don't have to like search for one and search for another. I group them all together. Like, here's yours and here's the other person, so you'll be able to find it very fast. All right. Good night. Sleep tight, Moonlight. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.